What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler. We're coming in with a classic story. But before I dive into that, there is a couple things I want to mention. First off, smack the sub button. Please get me to 300K before New Year's. I'm begging you. I'm on my knees begging at this point, boys. Please smack that sub button. If you hate me more than anything, you can unsub on January 1st. I don't care. Just please help me get to 300K. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd love you very much if you helped me out. Also, get your hands on Goblin merch. What are you waiting for? Links at the top of the description. Goblin merch is a great way to make new cracked out friends, dude. Listen, someone sees you in public wearing Goblin merch, they approach you. They say, hey, dude, looks like you like crack cocaine too. Now you've got two crack lords affiliated with each other. That's just smart, honestly. Get your hands on Goblin merch. Links at the top of the description, boys. You don't want to miss out. A beautiful holiday drop. It's all exquisite. Hey, without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So, this took place just last year, actually. We're finally tapping into a lot of the 2019 stories that aren't Coke Chronicles. And I think you guys should be expecting a lot more of these to come because there's a lot of stuff that still happened during last year that I couldn't really fit into Coke Chronicles. You know, the majority of my 2019 stories really took place over last summer/fall, and I just couldn't fit them all into Coke Chronicles. So this is one of those things that kind of happened during that timeline, right? So, this took place towards the end of last summer, right? It was maybe the end of July, beginning of August, something like that. But I was pretty deep into my Coke phase at this point. And on this particular day, I had to go to a family gathering with my mom at my grandma's house. Now, you guys have heard plenty about going to my grandpa's house, but that's on my dad's side of the family. My mom's side of the family, my grandma there, totally different environment. Very different people, very different place, okay? It is not quite like going to my grandpa's house. And listen, my grandma's house, it's just, I mean, it's not better. Okay, it's just different. That's the best way to put it. And I mean that because my grandmother has an affliction, okay? She believes that she's a very good cook, but she's not. Like, my mom knows it, everyone in the family knows it, but she thinks that she is like that classic, like, grandma baking cookies, you know? In reality, bro, I'm telling you right now, I love her to death, great woman, but holy shit, she cannot cook. That woman cannot be trusted on a stove, dude. It's actually crazy. There's no seasoning, bro. It's salt and pepper. That's it. No other seasoning, dude. Like, a pot roast is just like it's watery. Bro, I don't even know how you do that. All right, we're going to get to that part later. I'm ranting. So either way, I get told that I'm going over to my grandma's house this day, and I'm like, fuck, you know? I'm trying to hit up my blow man to get some more Coke to bring over so I can maybe do some bumps in the bathroom, you know, every couple 30 minutes or so. But my blow man wasn't going to be free until later, so I was like, fuck, dude, I have no Coke. The day prior, I ended up going over to my buddy Tim's house, and Tim had a medical card. And this actually was also one of the first times I did RSO. The day before, Tim was telling me about RSO, and he convinced me to buy a gram for myself off of his medical card, right? The day before, he also capped it up for me and was kind of telling me about it. So I already had it all capsuled up. So on this day, as I was getting ready to go to my grandma's house, I was like, you know, I don't have any blow. I'm really fiending for it. I'm not going to be able to go out and like smoke a bowl or anything. I should take this today, you know? Like, I was kind of saving it, but I figured, hey, you know, if there's ever been a day, it's got to be today. So I eat both of the capsules I have. And in those capsules was about a half gram in each. You know, I filled the first one all the way up, and then the second one didn't fill all the way up. It was like halfway. So maybe like a 0.7 in the first one, like a 0.3 in the other. Either way, it's irrelevant. I took 2 capsules with RSO in them. And the dosage, if I remember correctly, was something around like 700 to 800 milligrams because it was about 70% THC. And I had a gram of it, so you can do the math. But either way, I pop those capsules down the hatch, hop in my mom's car, and my mom brings our dog with us, right? She always brought our dog to my grandma's house. I don't know why. He didn't even like the place, dude. He just barked trying to leave the whole time. But she insisted on bringing him. So we bring the dog, right? We hop in my mom's car, and we skedaddle over to my grandma's house. I'm riding over there, and I'm sober as a brick, dude. I'm practically begging the THC to hit my brain, dude. I'm dying for it. I'm fiending for any sort of intoxication. We get to my grandma's house. We hop out. We go inside, you know? And listen, originally I was under the impression, I wasn't under the impression, but I thought she wasn't cooking. You know, a lot of the times when she went over, my mom would convince her to like order out or something. You know, my mom would never have the heart to tell her she was a bad cook. So she'd always be like, oh, you shouldn't cook and put that stress on yourself. You know, let's just order pizza, you know, because her food was like, dude, it was literally inedible most of the time. Like on the days it was edible, it was like moderately okay. Most of the time, it was just not edible at all. Okay. So, we're chilling at my grandma's house. We get there. She's got the crock pot going. She's got this whole thing going. And I realized very quickly, oh man, we're getting some good old fashioned grandma's cooking tonight, boys. Hey, we're hooting and hollering, dude. Virtually every time my mom and I went to my grandma's house for dinner, if she cooked, we'd usually have to go get McDonald's on the way home or something. It was bad, dude. But she's making this pot roast. I'm like, okay, you know, like how bad can a pot roast be? You know, like whatever, I'm chilling. I just want this RSO to hit me. You know, I'll be really stoned. It'll be great. So I sit on the couch, you know, I'm kind of chilling out and I'm watching TV. And my grandma, very political woman, she's always got like the news on, you know, she's always got some political reports going on the TV, you know, and obviously that's what she's got going. So we're sitting down. We're chatting away about politics or whatever. Maybe 30 or 45 minutes goes by. I'm just sitting in the living room waiting on the pot roast and doing like family shit, you know, basically just being bored out of my mind, right? And finally, the RSO starts to hit me. I just feel it in my body. I remember I'm just like mid conversation with my grandma. And as I'm sitting on the couch, I just feel that grip tighten on me, dude. That instant, like, oh boy, you know, here we go. I feel like I say this every time I describe the edible or the RSO high, but it's really the best way to describe it. It's just my body gets heavy. Like it really does. You know, as soon as I feel that shit come over me, I just instantly notice like, oh, you know, when I lift up my arm, there's really some weight to this. Like, oh, if I move any of my limbs, you know, it feels like there's resistance, you know, like, holy shit. And instantly I'm just like, oh, here we go. You know, the RSO is slapping. And at this point, I wasn't eating a lot of this. Like I said, this is one of my first times doing RSO. So I was not used to eating a bunch of edibles. You know, I was the kind of guy who I'd take my dabs and that's it. And, you know, as all of you probably know, the edibles just hit you totally different. So I was feeling amazing. I was so baked, dude. I remember I was sitting there and I was actually intrigued about the political conversation. I was baked and I was just going at it with grandma, dude. I was like, yo, let's talk about this politics right now, dude. Joe Biden, let's go crazy, you know, like let's have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? There's obviously way before the elections, but still, you know, I mean, it was late 2019. We already knew who, you know, what was going down and all that. But either way, we're chatting about it. You know, we're hooting, we're hollering, and I'm high as a kite, dude. I'm feeling good. I don't even feel like I'm gonna green out yet, right? And finally, dinner's ready. It's pot roast time, boys, right? So we all gather around the dining room table, me, my mom, my grandma, and we got the pot roast at the table. And we played it up, and she pulls off the lid of the pot roast. And I am instantly concerned. You know, normally when people make a pot roast, it's like, okay, they got a lot of ingredients. You know, maybe they got like a gravy in there. You know, the liquid in there isn't just murky water. But my grandmother lifts the lid of this crock pot, and in there is a giant brown hunk of meat, more of like a gray shade, honestly. I don't even know how you get that color. With some onions floating in what appeared to be like meat water, dude. It was baked in hot dog water, okay? With onions floating in it. It was literally the most repulsive pot roast I've ever seen, and there's no seasoning. Listen. My grandmother doesn't season, dude. It's salt and pepper or bust. It's God bless her heart, great woman, but man, she's got to get someone to cook for. She needs to hire a chef or something. I just can't keep folding for this food, dude. All y'all out there, okay? All y'all probably have, you know, you got your grandma, your grandpa, you know, you got someone out there, you know, an old family member who's cooking up the heat, okay? Carrying on the family recipes. Me? I'm boned, boys. It doesn't matter which family gathering I go to, which side of the family. I'm absolutely piped, dude. The best food I'm eating is maybe we're lucky if we order KFC, okay? Bad luck. Bad luck, all right? But either way, I digress. So, we played up this beautiful pot roast. Hey, what a sight to see. We got these bread rolls, and we start eating, dude. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh, my God, dude. I'll take a bite of this pot roast. Dude. It's just salty. Like, it's just salty. It's just a salty gray piece of meat. And it wasn't even like It didn't even like fall. It didn't even like melt in your mouth like a pot roast should, bro. It was chewy, dude. Listen, I was hurting, dude, but I was high, so I was down, dude. I still ate most of it anyways. But as I'm sitting at the table, I start to get really nauseous, right? I'm like, holy shit, dude. This is not good. I'm not having this shit at all, right? So I asked to excuse myself and go to the bathroom. I run over to the bathroom and my stomach, there's just bubbles popping in it, bro. It literally feels like someone took like a frag grenade and just dropped it directly into my stomach, dude. There's just, when you're sitting there and you can just hear your stomach grumbling and like it just feels like there's a bunch of bubbles popping up in there. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, dude, my intestines are about to explode. Like, what is happening to me, right? So I'm sitting in the bathroom for a minute just trying to collect myself. I'm like, bro, I can't be stuck in here stoned at grandma's house, right? And Coke Man hits me up. He Snapchats me. Of course he has to wait until I'm sick and in the middle of dinner. He Snapchats me. And he's like, yo, dude, I don't really think I'm going to be free later. Is there any way we could meet up now? I'm like, dude, you got to be fucking with me, bro. Like, I'm at my grandmother's house. She lives in an old folks community. Like, this is the kind of community where they literally, you have to be like 60 or older to even look at the houses here. Like, if you're not that old, fuck off. Like it's some serious elderly shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh God, dude, my Coke Man is coming to this neighborhood. Like, this should be fun. But of course, I'm a fiend. I can't wait any longer. So I'm like, yeah, dude, like I haven't really hit the ATM yet. Can I like Cash App you or something? And he's like, yeah, dude, no problem. Just, send me your location. I'll pull up. So I send him my location. I get out of the bathroom, and I'm still feeling like shit. My stomach is still popping, but I had to get out of the bathroom because now I had to go sit at the table and formulate a plan to somehow get outside and meet my Coke plug, right? So I sit back at the table. I'm chilling out. My grandma and my mom are just bullshitting around. And I'm still high as a kite. Don't get me wrong. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling myself, dude. I'm hooting and I'm hollering, And after that initial kind of like realization how high I was, it wasn't super intense. I ate a really big dose, but at the same time, I've always had a pretty large tolerance to edibles, A, because I'm a big guy, and B, because I smoke a lot. But I was still feeling amazing. I was still feeling wonderful. But I was fiending so hard for blow. At this point in my life, weed was kind of irrelevant to me. Like, sure, I smoked weed a lot, but I mainly smoked my weed for the Coke come down. Like the most of the time I would just smoke it to go to bed at the end of the night, or I'd wake and bake or something like that. Like if I got too geeked, I'd use weed to calm me down. This was not a phase in my life where I would call myself a stoner by any means. I was just a cokehead who happened to smoke weed, right? So either way, I'm trying to figure out at this table. I'm zoning out because I'm like, dude, like, I need this Coke. Like, holy fuck, thank God it's coming. But also, like, how am I getting out of the house? And my grandma's trying to talk to me, and I'm just not listening, bro. I'm just like, holy fuck, bro. Like I need blow can. I was a fiend at this point in my life. And finally, my Coke Man hits me back after maybe like 15 minutes at the table. He was pretty close by, actually. He really, whenever he said he was coming to me, he meant like he was coming directly to me, dude. He hits me up, and he's like, yo, I'm about 5 away. So I'm like, oh, I get this idea. I'm like, yo, I could take the dog out. I could act like the dog might have to go to the bathroom or something, right? So that's exactly what I do. I get up, and I'm like, oh, I think I should take the dog out. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom or something, right? The dog didn't give a fuck. He wasn't even bothering us. Gave no indication that he had to go anywhere. But I'm out there. I'm like, dude, this dog looks like he's got a shit now, bro. This dog has to take a tinkle this instant. I got to run him out. I'll do it for you. You're welcome. I'll do it for you, family, So they're all like, oh, thanks for taking the dog. Oh, that's so thoughtful of you. And I get up and I'm like, yes, dude. Yes, dude. Cocaine, dude. The blow man is coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited as can be, boys. I'm absolutely ecstatic right now. So I'm wandering around the lawn with my dog, and I see my Coke Man pull in the neighborhood. And I'm like, there he is, my boy. I've been waiting for you, right? He pulls, I wave him down, dude. He pulls right up. And I know immediately, I'm looking around all sketched out because I'm like, dude, we're in an old people's neighborhood. Like, it's not like people are at work. It's not like people are at school. Like, dude, these people are retired. They're at home for a living. All they do is be senile. That's their pastime, right? So I'm looking around and I'm like, dude, someone's got to be looking out the window. Like, this has got to be the first drug deal in this neighborhood's history, dude. Like, holy shit. I'm tweaking out. But obviously, it all went smoothly, right? It all went great, and I got my blow, right? I just got my hands on a little gram. So I go back inside with the dog, right? And while I was in the car, I just had the dog in my lap, My mom, she had a little golden doodle, but he was a tiny dog. He never got very big, so I could just kind of carry him. So I just grabbed him, hop in the plug's car, grab my blow, fucking skedaddle, dude. You know what I'm saying? So I get back into the house, and now I've got my blow in my pocket. And I sit back down at the table, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to go to the bathroom right now and make it too obvious, but also, like, I need cocaine, like, here and now, dude. No exception. So I'm like, holy shit, I got to think of something. So I get up. And I'm like, oh, I just realized. I don't know why I did this instead of just going to the bathroom again. But I was like, oh, I just realized I forgot to pick up the dog poop, right? So I get up and I go over and I grab the fucking shit bags out of the little leash because I had one of those retractable leashes that had like an attachment thing for it. It was kind of cool. It was kind of a fancy leash, So I get up and I grab a bag like I'm about to go grab some dog shit, right? And I pop open my grandma's garage because obviously I got to throw it in her garbage bin, which was in the garage, right? So I open the garage and I go out through there. I go back out front and I'm standing in her garage and I bust out my bag of blow and it is just a rock, dude. And this is one of those times where I was like, fuck, I wish he served me a little powder in this bag because it was a rock. So I'm sitting in her garage and there's this little like workbench in there. And I'm just crushing this shit up in the bag as best as I can. I'm like, dude, I just need a little bump. Like, I just need to scoop out a little something, The most crackhead shit ever. My grandmother and mother are inside eating a pot roast at the table, and I'm hunched over in the garage doing cocaine, dude. It's just not a hoot or a holler. But it kind of was a hoot, because I got geeked as fuck, dude. As soon as I got it crushed up enough, I stuck my debit card in there. I got a little bump off that shit, and I was like, oh, fuck, boys. Like, this is it. I got to get some more. And I'm trying to hold that debit card as steady as I can, so none of it slides off. I don't spill any. And I probably spilled a little bit, but I didn't give a shit. I was just happy to have blow. I take like 2 or 3 bumps, and I'm feeling wired immediately. It's like I'm barely even stoned anymore, dude. Immediately, the edible's gone. I'm jolted up, dude. My teeth are a little numb. I rubbed a little bit on my gums. My nose is running like a bitch. But I realized really quickly, oh, fuck. I might have made a mistake here because I was feeling nauseous before, and now I've got the drip thanks to the blow. I'm about to hit the double nausea, and that's literally exactly what happened. I did way too much blow too quickly, and I go back inside. Maybe like 10 minutes go past, and the drip is immense, dude. There's a waterfall going down my throat of snot. It is disgusting, okay? If you've never done blow, listen, it makes your nose run down your throat. It's literally the grossest shit ever. But either way, you shouldn't find out about that. Don't do coke, kids. So, obviously, I'm getting queasy from this. My stomach's getting really upset, dude. I've puked plenty of times because of the drip, dude. But this was bad, dude. And I get up and I go to the bathroom and I yak everywhere, dude. I go absolutely cuckoo. I projectile, dude. It's on the toilet seat. I gotta clean that shit. I projectile so hard that shit smacked the top toilet seat that was upright, dude. I left like a little splatter painting of my yak on that shit. It was crazy. I still have like a photo of it in my brain, dude. It was. I've never yacked that violently in my whole life. And obviously, since I was puking so loud, my mom heard, and she gets up, she comes over, she's like, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, at this point, I'm seeing like, oh, this could be my key to get out of here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fucked up. I don't know if I'm okay, but I'll try to feel better, And my mom, of course, she takes advantage of that because she doesn't want to, listen, she didn't want to eat any more pot roast. She's like, oh, Nick's really sick. I think I might have to drop him off at home or something, So she obviously seeing that I'm sick, she looks over to me and she's like, do you want to go? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I really think we should. I'm not feeling good. And at this point in my head, I'm like, yo, cocaine, dude, let's go. I got to go home, do cocaine, dude, count me in, right? So, and no more pot roast that's making me vomit. When in reality, it was a combination of the RSO and the blow, but I'm not ruling the pot roast out. That definitely contributed. The onion water roast 100% contributed. But either way, I was like, yo, let's go home right now. Take me home. Let's get to it, right? So, get back in my mom's car, ride home, dude. And the rest of the night was spent doing cocaine and probably beating my meat because that shit makes you horny. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out, gamers.